Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got something very awesome for you guys that are interested in an Exodia deck. It's been a while since we even talked about Exodia. No one really is playing Exodia in 2021 for the most part that wants to actually get win conditions. So first duel up over here is going to be versing the Utopia Dragner deck. That's going to be a very, very popular way to play YuGiOh. And this card is absolutely insane. Unless the opponent has Kaiju, because then rip the cards. But this is going to be called Kaijudolls over here. So it's Shadolls mixed in with the Kaijus with Exodia, with the ability to obliterate your opponent multiple different ways. So the deck can play like a normal deck, as in you can still win without the Exodia win condition. But I've got gameplay of both for you guys. It's going to show off gameplay of it winning with just basically the core engine of the Kaijudolls, which is like the Kaijus and the Shadolls. But Obliterate is a really good card because it lets you target a monster on the field, which can include your own cards. And on top of that, this card lets you send the forbidden monsters to the graveyard. You can add them back potentially if you want to with lots of different cards. So you're going to be able to add them back and pull off the win condition with Exodia. But that's not really, I would say, the most consistent way to win with YuGiOh to get all 5 pieces of Exodia. But it is technically there if you want another win condition. And on top of that, the Shadolls can start sending monsters over to the graveyard as well. That can facilitate for your Shadoll fusions because they count as the spellcaster. Obviously, all of them are dark as well, but being a spellcaster actually helps out for some other cards that we will see later down the line. And that play right there with the Relinquish Anima, with of course the Obliterate, being able to bounce back your Kaijus and just have free Kaijus for days is quite awesome. So let's go ahead and see one of the win conditions over here. Up against one of my favorite things to watch lose, Mystic Mine. So this one over here is going to show how you can really play the deck and dodge certain things, because obviously Mystic Mine, once you have a monster out, for some decks they can't get rid of their one monster, right? Well, this deck actually has a lot of tricks up its sleeve. Not only can Obliterate just target a monster to also get yourself a Exodia piece, but the Subterra Succession actually works quite well in this deck. It lets you send one, which is going to get rid of your monster, and then also let you add one. Now, you don't have to add a flip effect monster, which is kind of interesting. You can send a flip effect, a flip monster from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard, and you get to add one monster from your deck to your hand with the same attribute, but a lower level as that monster before it was sent to the graveyard. This can actually open up the doors for a lot of different things, but specifically, obviously with the Exodia, we're able to actually recycle and actually add back another card once Obliterate goes away, get to add back an Exodia piece. The only important piece I would say that can be a little bit maybe more difficult is the head. So that's the only special Exodia piece that you kind of want to make sure that you have in your hand, instead of maybe discarding it for, let's say, some of the other effects. The reason why is because Backup Soldier doesn't let you target it if you want to play Backup Soldier, which is technically optional in this deck. But we see the Mystic Mine come out once again, but it's not going to really matter too much because now they have the same amount of monsters. But nonetheless, we will see 3 of the Exodia pieces, and the Exodius, the Ultimate Forbidden Lord. Every time he is going to be attacking, he's going to send one to the graveyard. And with Legacy of the Duelist, that will let you add one. Now he's got all of his cards ready to go. He's going to terraforming, search out that mine, but it doesn't really matter because right now with Legacy of the Duelist, you're going to be able to add whatever monster that you want back. So even though you're able to basically foolish lots of different cards in this deck, you could add back whatever you want instead of conducting your normal draw phase. That's another way you can win with Exodia. I've got another Exodia win condition over here, not versus a Mystic Mine, but let's go ahead and check out some more gameplay of it, because this deck at the end of the day, I want to say it's more of a fun deck than a S tier, top tier meta deck, but I still think that it is a pretty viable deck, and it's just kind of a fun deck to mess around with, and it's a way that you can kind of make Exodia playable without the Treasure Pander build. That was another popular build, but that one loses out really hard to hand traps, while this one won't lose necessarily as hard to hand traps because it doesn't base everything off of the Treasure Pander combo. But that was, I think, the last time Exodia really saw winning potential in at least average games of YuGiOh. Even if you're playing in unranked over on EDO Pro, it's still pretty hard to get an Exodia deck to actually win, right? He's going to activate droplets over there, but Winda is out indeed, so there's only one summon per special summon for a turn. He's going to go ahead and Allure. Red Eyes Fusion's activated, but Obliterate is going to be bouncing back the Kaiju, so he's only going to have this powerful Red Eyes Dark Dragoon for one turn because, well, the Kaiju is going to be coming out, so he has to just use whatever he can with the Dragoon over here, and he's going to get rid of the Falco, and Winda is going to add the card back, but he says no to that because he knows his card's going to be going away as he had Obliterate. So it's really the power of the Kaijus mixed in with Obliterate. That's why it's called the Kaijudolls Obliterate. But big shout out to Core for hooking me up with the gameplay as well as the deck profile and the innovative deck, because that's what I really like to see in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just like, I like seeing weird mix-ups in decks, and it's kind of hard to get it to run this day and age because everyone sets up boards with like 50 negates, and it's just difficult for, I would say, more average-ish decks to even like have a chance. But we see the Slumber activated, he's going to give them the weaker one, and then just take it right back. He doesn't even get a weak Kaiju over there. He's going to take all that damage to the face. Then El Shaddoll Fusion is activated. Beast's going to be able to draw another card and then construct with that awesome ability to get rid of anything that is special summon once it starts battling. And then he's going to go ahead and activate Simoon, but this is a one-card combo, basically to get out the Blackwing Boss, but Obliterate is just going to say, nope, you can have that card right back into your hand. And then from here on out, he's going to take some extra damage. Backup Soldier is indeed going to be activated, adding back some of the Exodia pieces, and the guy's like, no, don't obliterate me, and he just GG's out over here. But I got another win condition for you guys, because I want to show you guys a variety of plays over here. And like I said, it's more so oriented around a casual deck. We got it Up versus Penguins, which, you know, I only saw for the very first like week when they got announced. They did technically get some more support, but at the end of the day, Penguins, like Penguin Heroes is probably like their best card, and surprisingly Penguin Soldier is actually pretty good. But you gotta like, you gotta have the no Penguin over here. So when a Penguin effect is activated, you can just spell summon this card from your graveyard, and if it will be returned, it gets banished instead. So you have to have like no Penguin, you gotta have Penguin Heroes, and then you have to have the other Penguin ready to start flipping. But in a real Yu-Gi-Oh game, nah, that's not happening. Alright, Kaiju Slumber coming out, but he's able to go ahead and get rid of the Kaiju. We got the Glacial Beast Polar Penguin, which has the effect if this card is destroyed battle by card effect, you can target one card your opponent controls and you can bounce it back to the hand, and then you can only use the effect. But remember, since the other card's out, it's going to get banished instead. So the Kaiju coming out with the Shaddoll Falco, going to be able to run over the no Penguin, and then he's going to activate in main phase 2 that Prosperity. So he's going to be digging through some of the cards and start that excavation process over there. And now we've got Super Poly and the Subterra Succession, which again, this card is actually another searcher for the deck, so you get to send one, so he's going to be able to get the effect of the Falco, reset itself, then the Penguin Torpedo is just basically gonna get some free direct attack, and then it's gonna bring up no Penguin. He's got Penguin Soldier ready to go, but you really need a lot more in Penguins to be viable in 2021. Now he's gonna get Gamma Sealed, so rip the Penguin Soldier, flip Areno. He was hoping for that no Penguin to get that effect of being banished instead. Then the Super Poly activated, discarding the Instant Fusion, going into the Shaddoll Shek, which will have a negation over here with the Shaddoll Hedgehog. Then another Royal Penguin's Garden is activated, and he's going to be able to get back out no Penguin. He's got Bull Penguin, Penguin Champion coming out, going to be acting that effect, Penguin Champion, but Shaddoll is going to go ahead and say no to that. But he's got 3 of the Exodia pieces, Subterra Succession activated, get rid of the Falco, getting another Exodia piece, and then resetting the Falco, which is really nice. This card is actually so good. Now he's going to flip up the Shaddoll Beast, going to be able to draw double cards and go right into the Exodia Incarnate. But he doesn't even need to go for that because it's already game. We already have all the Exodia pieces ready to go. But this card does let you add back one of the Forbidden One cards in addition to all of the other cards that were able to be added back. So this was really cool. Like I said, I like innovative stuff like this. Obviously against Penguins or like Mystic Mind will be easier because those decks don't throw up like super fast aggression. But just to show you guys, if you are playing against a slower tier deck, like it takes a while for them to start setting up, you can win off of this win condition. And if you even if you're against a faster paced deck, you have those Kaijus to get rid of those very powerful boss monsters. But anyways, let's go and hop right into the deck profile. So one of the variants was playing Backup Soldier. If you want to play it, Backup Soldier, is it back dash up? Okay, Backup Soldier over here is another card that you guys did get to see. If you want to play it, it does let you add back all of these cards. It can be a little bit faster if you want to play it, but honestly, I'd probably not play it because it's going to make your deck a little bit slower. Another thing I was thinking about with this deck that would be really cool is Future Fusion. What Future Fusion allows you to do is go for Quintet, Magician, as this one requires 5 spellcasters with different names, and heck, what do you know? These all happen to be spellcasters, right? So you can do that with Quintet, and then you'd have like a faster way of dumping all of the Shadolls into the graveyard. Now keep in mind, Future Fusion has an errata, but a lot of people will think, oh, he's just getting out like a Shadoll monster, whatever, no big deal, right? But then when you reveal all of Exodia, the first thing that comes to their mind is use their resources and start banishing these. But you don't even need these, and that is the best part about this deck. So it's a little bit of mind games with this, because again, your opponent will be forced to throw up things, start banishing your cards, make maybe extra cards that they normally wouldn't have made, and then you just kaiju them, and then, you know, you just win by them kind of overextending, which is quite nice. But yeah, it's another option if you want to for this deck as well. But onwards with the deck profile. So obviously with an Exodia deck, you got to play all 5 pieces of Exodia. And then we've got the multiple copies of the Juzukiro. That is the Shadoll with the massive amounts of attack. And then we got the Exodius, the Forbidden Lord. Then we have the legendary Exodia Incarnate. These are both level 10, and this is also 10. You can actually make these, which is quite cool. And then we've got the Dogoran. We've got the Swordmaster of the Bewitching Iris, or Iris Sword Soul as it's called now in the TCGs. Then we got 2 copies of Gamma Seal. We got the Spider Kaiju, and then we've got the Shaddoll Beast, 2 copies of Dragon. Then we got Squamata, 1 copy of the Excelsior. This is our light target, plus it has that effect for, of course, getting the other card. Then we got 2 copies of Hedgehog, 2 copies of Falco, 1 copy of Instant Fusion, 2 copies of Shaddoll Fusion, 2 copies of Disparity, 2 copies of the Kaiju Slumber, 1 L Shaddoll Fusion. Then we got 2 copies of Super Poly, then 2 copies of Legacy Duels. Remember, whatever you dump, you're going to be able to just add back. So kind of nice if you really want to pull up the Exodia win condition or start adding back those extra Kaijus. And then we got the Subterra Succession. I really think this card is underrated. I haven't really seen people play it in Shadolls. I think it's really good to dodge abilities, which you guys did get to see from some of the gameplay here. Then we got the Shadoll Ruck over here, and of course Obliterate for the Kaijudolls Obliterate deck. And then we've got basically just one of all of the things, because Super Poly does exist. It really helps out for extra targets. There's also Baroness de Fleur you can make, and then the Wolf Synchro. And then of course these cards for the other rank 10 plays, and of course Relinquish, which you guys did get to see really cool gameplay of. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. Big shout outs once again to Core for hooking me up with the gameplay and the deck profile. But if you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on it. If you're new here and do want to see more crazy Yu-Gi-Oh decks in the future, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and you'll definitely see more. And I love seeing what you guys make, so if you guys want to send me in any other crazy Yu-Gi-Oh decks, feel free to email me at azneyesreplays@gmail.com, or just hit me up via the Discord via a DM, and maybe it'll be featured on the channel. But thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one. I'm signing out. Peace.